Welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey. Today's tutorial we're going to work on this fabulous little beanie. This is called the cross-hatched beanie, and this has a really interesting stitch, and we're using the Red Heart reflective yarn for this because it is a chunky weight level 5. These kind of beanies work up exceptionally quickly because the yarn is so thick. So today I'm going to have some fun with some colors. You just require a multiple of colors, a main color, and then you can have two different colors, or you can just do whatever you want with this particular one. Today I'm gonna make my main color the neon and then follow it up with the purple. Now because it's reflective, when a flash of light hits this entire hat really lights up, and you can see that in the pattern is that there's a photograph of the light hitting the young girl, and you can see that this entire hat and her matching cowl completely light up. So without further ado, let's start working on the cross-hatch beanie right now. So let's get started. It says for a size K 6.5 millimeter. I'm using a size J 6 millimeter today. I know that myself that my tension is always a little loose, so I just reduce the hook by one size in order to kind of match my head. So that's just an idea for those that ever end up with hats that are always too big. It's probably because your tension's off or you're using the wrong size hook. So let's begin. It gives us two options. It can say adjustable ring or chain 3 to join. So I'm going to do an adjustable ring because that's the whole point of tutorials, right, is to learn. So here just lay down the yarn in front of your hand, and I want you to wrap the yarn around your two fingers and cross over so that it creates a cross. Insert the hook under the first one, come around, and then re-grab the yarn and pull through, and this is your adjustable ring at this point. So this is how you do an adjustable ring, and what we're going to do is that we're going to start off with the instructions of round number 1. So let's begin round number 1. It says to chain 3, and that counts as a double crochet here and throughout. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to put 11 double crochets into the center of this ring. When we go to put it in the center, we want to make sure that we're going over both of these two strings as we do the adjustable. So we're just going to double crochet 11 times. So with that chaining of 3 according to the instructions, that is counted as one of the double crochets, so therefore you need a total of 12 going all the way around to keep in balance with this pattern. Okay, so what we have is that I'm gonna count that chain 3 as one of them. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now I'm gonna count alive with you alive. So here we go, and I was gonna count, but what I technically do when I do stuff like this is that I don't really count in the very beginning. I have to recount anyway to make sure it's gonna work. So I just put in a whack, and I've been crocheting a long time, so I kind of put in a whack and then kind of say, okay, well let's really work closer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 2 more. And did you see how I'm not going like it's not forming a circle at this point, because I don't want to make sure I go over just one string. Once you have that completely done, I want you to pull that string like so, and it's an adjustable ring, so see how everything just pulled, and then I want you to join it to the top of the beginning chain 3, and that concludes off round number 1. Okay, let's begin round number 2, and all we're just going to do is that we're going to chain up 3. Remember that counts as double crochet in the rules of crochet. Coming into the same stitch right underneath, just going to put another double crochet. Okay, and then we come immediately to this one right here, the first one, and we're going to put in 2 double crochets, and we're going to do that into every stitch going all the way around. So every stitch is going to get 2. So that one that you started off with putting in chaining of 3 and then one right underneath of it, that is like your 2 into the same stitch. You totally want 24 stitches going all the way around, which are then 12 groups of 2 if you classify it from that way. So we're just putting in 2 double crochets into each. You're going to notice that this beanie grows relatively quickly because of the chunky weight, and it makes for a very easy and quick project to be able to do for a gift or something even for yourself to have it done really quickly. So I'm coming back all the way around, and we want to make sure that our stitches are in balance as far as the number of counts that we have. So basically I have one group here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and this will be 11. Okay, so 11 times 2 is 22, and then the final stitch right here we're going to put in. So I'm gonna have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So the last one then we'll have 2 stitches in there to give you a total balance of 24. Okay, and then we just join it to the beginning like so. So hopefully that makes sense on how to keep it in balance. Let's begin round number 3. Round number 3 starts off really simply just going to chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then we come immediately down into the same stitch to put in another double crochet. So you have your 2 there. The next stitch is right here. You see that if you can follow the post, that's how you do it, and you're going to put in 1 single crochet by itself. It's a double crochet by itself, just 1, and then the next one is going to be 2 double crochets into that one. The next one is going to be just 1 double crochet. That is the configuration for this entire round. So basically one will get 2 double crochets in, and then the next one will get 1 by itself. Please do that same configuration all the way around. I'll meet you back in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and I can tell that I'm in balance. How do I know that? The last stitch is 1 single crochet by itself, which it should be, because the next one here that we started with was 2 in the same one, then 1 by itself and 2, and basically I had 2 here and this is 1. So that kind of makes sense, right? So if you can keep that in your head, it makes it much easier. So join it with a slip stitch, and we're gonna move up to round number 4. Okay, round number 4 is kind of unusual for what we're used to in hats. We usually just grow it very slowly. So the next one would be 3 there'd be 2 single double crochets by itself, and then a double, etc. This is not how this hat's gonna work. So we're going to chain up 3 first, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to double crochet into the same stitch that you joined. So because we're working with chunky yarn, it's probably the reason for this is that we're going to be putting in 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 by itself. So we come immediately into the first one, and we're going to put in 1, and going to the next one for 2, next one for 3, next one for 4, next one for 5. So once you have your 5 sitting by themselves, the next one is going to be 2. And you're gonna do that same configuration all the way around. So I'll repeat that again. So we're gonna put 5 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the next one is going to have 2 double crochets in there. Please repeat that all the way around. I'll meet you back at the start. Coming up onto the end of round number 4, I've just put in my double, and now I just have to do 5. So 1, 2, 3, and that was 3, and 4, and 5 is last. Now I can tell I'm right because the next one is a double, and here's the double, and this is the 5 in between, and let's join that with the top of the beginning of chain 3 to finalize round number 4. Let's move up to round number 5. I'm about to begin round number 5, and I'm gonna turn the hat upside down the way that we'd be working on it. And what we're going to be doing now is starting to create the foundation of these nice cross hatched stitches that you have here. So we're going to begin this process right in this hat. This is where it becomes a lot of fun, and this is where we need to pay attention the most. So let's begin round number 5 right now. So let's begin the start. We're gonna go slowly here, and we're just gonna immediately start off with chaining of 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna come back and down into the same stitch, and what it's asking for you is to double crochet in, chain 2, and single crochet all into that same stitch. So this is what we kind of have. So we kind of have a big lift on one side and it's sinking down on the other. We're going to skip the next 2 stitches, so 1 and 2, and we're immediately going to put in 2 double crochets into the next one. So because this chaining of 3 counts as a double crochet, you basically have 2 double crochets, chain 2, and single crochet all in the same stitch. So this is what we're having over here. We just put in 1 double crochet, we're going to put in another double crochet, so you got your 2, you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to single crochet into that same stitch. So then you skip 2 again, 1 and 2, and then you're gonna put in 2 double crochet. You're going to chain 2, and then single crochet into that same stitch. Please do that same configuration all the way around. I'll review just one more time. We're gonna skip 2 and then just double crochet into the third one twice, plus you're going to chain 2 and single crochet all in that same space. Please do that all the way around. I'm coming up to my very last one. I've just put in my 2 double crochets, chaining of 2, single crochet into the same one, and look at that, I have 2 left, and as per the instructions that's what I should have, and we're going to just join it with the top of the beginning chaining of 3 that we started off with, just like so. And so then that concludes off round number 5. Round number 6, we're immediately going to start working our way, and we just need to earn ourselves. So we're on the first double crochet, if you want to count it like that. The first beginning chain 3 is always counts as a double crochet. So we want to slip stitch to the next one. So you're slip stitching to the second one over, and this is where the fun begins. We're going to chain 1 first, but here's the thing. We are gonna play in the chain 2 gaps in each one of these going all the way around, and we're gonna do exactly what you've already known how to do. So to begin again, we are just going to single crochet this time into that stitch. So last time we just did 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 1 single crochet. This time we're going backwards, and so this time it's 1 single crochet, chain 2, and then 2 single or double crochets into that spot. So you see how we're doing that backwards this time? So let's immediately just jump over to this next chain 2 space. We're just immediately going to single crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet into that same space. So you can see how it cross hatched. That one looks like it's going this way, this one looks like it's going that way to create the look. Once you have your 2 double crochet done, you just immediately go to the next one, single crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet into the next one. So please do that all the way around. I'll meet you back up, and this is round number 6. Once you get all the way back around on round number 6, make sure that there's nothing here to go into. You're immediately just going to join with the first single crochet that you started off with, just like so, and that's round number 6. Let's move on to round number 7. You already know how to do round number 7, but let's review it anyway. So what we're going to do is that we're just immediately gonna come to the first chain 2 space. You're currently in the single crochet. You're just going to join it with a slip stitch to begin, and let's start. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we are going to double crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into that same space. We immediately now come to the next space that's available. Just pull it apart, you can see it, it's over here. You see how everything's kind of working together, and you're just gonna immediately double crochet twice. So this time you're double crocheting first, then chaining 2, and then single crocheting this time. Okay, so let's review one more time. Just immediately come to the next chain 2 space that's over here, and you're just going to double crochet. See how the double crochet reaches over to grab onto it, and then chain 2 and single crochet. Please do that for all the way for round number 7. We're coming up all the way back around, finished off with this single crochet here, and now we're just going to slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3. So basically you have to do rounds number 8 all the way to 13. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do that off camera, but what you just need to do is just do the opposite. So this time, the last round we did 2 double crochets, chain 2, single crochet. So now this is the next round, so I'm going to begin again for you, and that we're just gonna slip stitch to the second double crochet, and then we're going to begin. So we're going to single crochet into the next one, so this is round number 8, then chain 2, and then double crochet into that same space. We immediately then come to the next space over here, and then we're just going to single crochet first, and then chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. Now when I'm gonna come back on round number 9, in number 9 I'm gonna show you how to change color, if just in case you're interested in doing so, and it really makes a really interesting hat if you can just change colors, not only even in the night when the reflection goes off, but also during the day when you're wearing it. So please join me in just a moment as I take you on to round number 9 and show you how to change colors. I'm coming up to the end of round number 8, and basically you have to do rounds number 8 to 13 on your own. I'm gonna start off with round number 9, but I'm gonna change my color. So to do so, I've just got at the very end, and I'm just going to join it with the top of the beginning, sorry, with the single crochet right at the beginning. where we left off. And I'm just going to join it, and I'm going to fasten off this yarn. So I'm actually going to trim this at this point, and I'm just going to pull through. You can use a darning needle if you wish to be able to secure that better. So what we want to do then is that we want to immediately start the next color, and I want to start it exactly where we're going to go. So when we go to do this, basically is that we're going to be slip stitching to this chain 2 space for this particular round. So I'm going to just do a slip knot. So I don't want to start it here and then drag it over here, because then you'll see the bleed of the color, right? So you want to just join it exactly where you need it to be. Okay, and so let's then begin. So this round, what we're going to do is that we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and I want to take the stragglers and just bury them on top. We're going to double crochet into there. So you already know how to do this. Chain 2 and then single crochet into that same space, just like so. So what I want to do is just drag these stragglers continuing over to the next space, and we're going to put in 2 double crochets, just like so. And I'm gonna let that just kind of fall out of the way, and I'm going to chain 2 and then single crochet. And I'm gonna do that all the way around. Now you can change the colors as often as you want to. You could have even done it on the top. That's how you would do it. So I want you to continue rounds number 8 to 13. So this is round number 9. Go all the way to 13, and I'll meet you back on round number 14 where we'll finish off and conclude this hat for today. So we're back and about to finish round number 14, which is the final round. And when we joined, there's 2 single or double crochets here, and then the chain 2 and single crochet, just so that you're aware. So just in case you haven't finished off in the right area, this should be what it looks like in the last round before we finalize. So it's 2 double crochets, chain 2, 1 single crochet. So let's begin. We are going to start off with the slip stitch to the second over of the double crochet, because you joined at the beginning, chain 3, which is a double crochet. So now you're over here, and so we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put in 2 single crochets into this chain 2 space. So 1 and 2. So your 2 single crochets are in, and now here's the next part. So we want to go right into the gapping space where these are reaching. So I'm gonna go over here because it makes it easier to see. So you see how there's a whole gapping space? We have it here, but what's happening is that because I've dragged the colors to be able to hide it where I've changed the colors, it looks doesn't look very obvious. So I want to single crochet right into that complete gap, so not into a stitch, and into the first double crochet, just like so. Now I want to put in 2 single crochets into the next chain 2 space, and keep repeating that. So the next one is into this gapping space, and if there's any stragglers down there from the changing of color, just grab those 2, just so that it keeps it balanced, and then into the next double crochet as well. So single there, single into the gap, and now put in 2. I'm gonna review that one more time. Okay, so here's the gapping space. You can really see it now. Just go to the whole thing, and then into the next double crochet, and then over here for 2 singles into that space. So continue to do that all the way around. When we finish off, we're actually finished off at the end of this round, and then I'll see you back there in just a moment. When you get all the way back around, just join it with a slip stitch right at the beginning, and we're going to fasten off and use a darning needle really to hide in these loose ends. Just leave a nice generous length for you. You would have almost used up all of the yellow if you were using yellow for this one. But not enough that you'd be concerned that you're gonna run out. So you're gonna use up most of it. Just use the other for scrap. You could highlight other projects with making it reflective just by doing add-ons. Let's get our darning needle out right now, and I'm just going to insert this in. My eye of the needle is a little thin for this chunky weight yarn, which is, hey, it's good. The chunky weight allows it to be more warmer. That's why they've made it in a chunky weight, like so. And what I want to do to really weave in the ends really effectively, the ends will never come out if it goes in 3 different directions. So I'm gonna come and put it into the fibers itself in one direction from the way I came from, and pull through, go back into a different section from where you just came from and then go into the third, go back in again one more time. Because you've gone in 3 different directions, this will never fall out, because it's impossible for the hat to move in 3 different directions just like you put it in. So it's a great way of being able to hide in your loose ends. You can do the same with all of the loose ends that you did. Also in the very beginning, if you want to fasten in that adjustable ring, you could just do so as well. Just take a darning needle, fasten it in some fibers, and then you're good to go. And this hat is really quite neat and I'm ready to wear. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. We'll see ya.